Hey everybody, welcome to my very disorganized sewing room. I can't wait to get my Christmas orders done so I can clean this place out. I need to relieve it of about 500 pounds of crap. Today I'm going to show you tonight. My little Noah is in the house watching, let's see, Figaro Foo. It's about a little boy that's afraid of everything. And he's watching TV with his papa, which is his favorite thing to do. He's had his pizza. And he has got his standard procedure when he spends the night that he gets candy. So he has been to the store with his papa to get some candy. And so I thought I would sneak out here and show you how to do this. We're going to personalize a pre-made stocking. Now, if I make stockings myself, I personalize them before I put them together. I go ahead and embroider the cuff so that when I put it together, it's all done, because it's difficult to embroider a stocking once it's put together. This one was brought to me today by a lady. She just come bebopping inside here today and want to know if I can embroider this for her, and she needs it back quickly. It's a really simple job. When you buy a pre-made stocking, if you want to personalize it, before you buy it, look to see how it's put together. Because that's the first thing I looked at when she brought it in here and asked me if I could put this baby's name on it, is how it was put together. This one is a fairly simple construction. The cuff is made into the stocking. It does not lift up. And so I looked at it carefully, and what I saw was it's just a single crude seam up the sides. Nothing to it. And it'll just be a simple sew it back up when it's done. I could never get away with this in my sewing. When I make a stocking, there are no raw edges, but you know, Walmart can get away with more than I can. But anyway, we're going to clip these seams. Let me get me some clippers. I like these little embroidery scissors because they've got such a small little crooked nose on them that it's easy to get into things. Now you need to take it down a little further than you would think, just for the clearance to put it on the machine. I thought this might be a lesson that people might find handy this time of the year. One year, oh, it's been several years ago now, I sat down and spent hours on a little embroidery machine. Nothing like what I've got now. Well, I've still got two small embroidery machines, but they're on a shelf, packed away. I don't know how anybody can use one of those a lot, because they are so tedious to me. But anyway, people do. I know one girl that I follow on YouTube, Sterling Style, Miss Pam. She made embroidered a whole lot of onesies on one, and I completely give her all my respect for that, because I could not have done that. I'm just taking out this seam here. And we're going to lose the little hanger up thing, which is not in a good, it's way down in there. And I want to move, I'm going to move that closer to the top when I put this back together. I told her she could pick it up at lunchtime tomorrow. So I thought, well, they were watching that show and I had a few minutes alone, I could do this. Okay, we've got it down to just down to the red part, and I'm going to go ahead and take this down a couple of inches further. It's large, it's very large stitches. It's not difficult. But you know, if your stocking has got an actual cuff on it, those are a little more, they can be done, and it's not hard to do. Just make sure you understand how it goes back together before you start taking it apart. That's really, really important. The woman, I was at a friend's house yesterday, and a woman had brought her 10 stockings, and my friend said, there is no way on my embroidery machine that I can do these. And I said, well, tell her I'll do them. It'll be $10 each stocking because the cuff flipped up, and it was going to be quite complicated to get it put back together. And she called her customer, and her customer said, well, those stockings are really cheap, and I really don't want to pay that much. So, you know, this has got a couple, looks like hot glue spots on it. See if I can give old Santa Claus's hat here a trim right quick, because I certainly didn't do that. All right, we got a large clearance on the back here now, and we're going to use easy frames. I got these at an embroidery show about, 3 years ago, I guess. And they're made by Durkee, and they come with, I don't know if it comes with a larger frame than this. I guess it probably does, but I bought mine strictly to do onesies. So I got the 8x8 frame, and I got the 5x7 frame. And you have to buy the chassis, and then each frame is separate. They may have a price for a whole set of them. I don't know, but it is impossible. It's not impossible. Very difficult to sew a onesie on the regular frames for an embroidery machine. I mean, you can't walk off for 1 second. You have to stay right with it. But with these, you can set it and go. We're going to use a sticky back stabilizer. I don't use this a lot. I use it just for certain things, like what I'm doing right now. Peel that off. Put it underneath our frames. I want it to be pretty tight. I'm going to cut some of this off. We got too much at the bottom here. I had to take the guard off my poor old rotary cutter, which is, I do not recommend that. I highly discourage that. But I was using my rotary cutter one day, and the whole thing just fell apart. And there's no telling how many hundreds and hundreds of quilts I have cut with this, but there is no guard on it now. And so I have to be extremely careful, because I have filleted my fingers with the guard on it. I just forgot to engage the guard, but it actually had a guard on it. And I reached across my table to get something, and it was slightly underneath something. And when I went on my knees that day. Reached in the trash, which my trash is clean trash. It's just fabric scraps. Reached in there, grabbed something, wrapped my finger up right quick, and to keep from bleeding on the fabric. That's the most important thing. Never bleed on the fabric. Alright, I've already got my design uploaded on the machine. It's 5.5 inches across the design. This measures at 9 inches, so I'm going to kind of eyeball the 4.5 inch mark and put a pin in it, and then put it on this. I'm going to put it down here where I can kind of use the bottom of the frame as a guide for straightness sakes. Alright, it's stuck on there good. Now I'm going to take it to the machine. I'm going to embroider the name, and I'll be back. Okay, we have it all finished. And I did at the last minute decide to put this is like the sulky, or whatever you call it. For this weave on this is like a sweater. So I did opt at the last minute to put that on there to keep the letters from sinking into the fabric, because this is like a kind of like a sweater type fabric, and I didn't want the letters to get lost in the weave. So I did put that on the last minute. Didn't pin it, just laid it on there. And it's easy to remove the excess on this. They actually make a seam ripper. I know you can get one at any sewing machine store, but they also have a cheap one at Hobby Lobby that is a seam ripper, and on the other end it's kind of got like an eraser type thing on the end, and you can use, that's what that end is for. Well, I don't know if that's what it's for or not, but it'll work. Or a pencil eraser will work to get out those little centers right there. And we're just going to pop this off of this sticky back. Clean this up a little bit on the back side. Not much, just some of the excess. And we're through with the frames. And we're going to turn this thing inside out. Poor Santa Claus. I'll let you back out in a minute. Let's switch the machine over to red. No, let's see, yeah. We could choose red or green. Actually, it's green on both sides. I don't think I have anything like that. We're just going to go with red. My red thread has gotten really low. I don't use a lot of red in my regular sewing. I just stowed that over behind. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, my machine doesn't like anything but white thread, so I had a booger of a time getting that red thread. I dropped it behind my machine, had to get the broom to get it out. But we're rolling now. This little lady brought me a few shirts of her son's. He's in the police academy now to be a military policeman. And she brought me, I'm not kidding, it was back in like February or March. She brought me a few shirts and said she wanted to get her son a t-shirt quilt made. And I was like, oh, okay, well, her shirts have been, she said she's going to bring me some more shirts. Well, her shirts have been over here in a bag with her name on them for months and months. Like if I had got pregnant when she brought them, which would have been an absolute miracle. But if I had got pregnant when she brought them, that baby would already be here and a month old. And she brought the rest of her shirts today and said, but I don't need this until December the 23rd. Bless her heart. I don't think people have a capacity to know how much I do here and how many, how many orders I have. I've got somebody coming in from Muscle Shoals over here from Muscle Shoals tomorrow, and to bring stuff, and she don't need hers till, I don't need it till Christmas. And there we have it. We have Brantley on this stocking, a pre-made stocking. And oh yes, I forgot to put the hanger on there. I will go back and attach it. It was just attached to the seam is all it was, and I'll go back and attach that because I did forget that. But there you have it, embroidering a store-bought stocking. Hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope that you benefit from my videos, because they are really hard to make, and I got this one on the first take, and some of them though, I'll start it and my battery will go dead, or I'll start it and I have to leave, or I'll start it and I make a mistake and I have to finish the project that I'm working on because I'm already into it, and then I have to, pick up the next one and the next embroidery or the next job or whatever I'm going to be doing, and start a new video with that one. It's just, it's complicated. You have to have, everything has to be lined up just right to do a good video. But there we have it. a stocking, pre-made, store-bought stocking, a cheaply made store-bought stocking, and that's how you have to embroider them, is to take them apart, embroider them, and put them back together. But don't go ripping out seams until you know how it goes back together, and that you can, that you can put it back together. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you got anything out of this, learned anything, give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and share the video. Every little bit helps. I do not monetize my videos. There's no commercials, so I don't make anything out of this. No sponsors, nothing. I just enjoy people learning something from my experiences. It's the only reason that I do them. Thank you, and have a great night.